Hello, everyone. Have you ever taken a full day or even a full weekend for a wellness retreat? When was the last time you took a full weekend to focus on you and fully re energize? Let's talk about it. Are you tired of just getting through the day, especially when you know you were meant for more? I was too. So I started a journey to bring more joy to my life and create a life that I actually loved every single day. Join us as we'll take this journey together, celebrating our failures, being inspired by our successes, and laughing with each other along the way. We want everyone to be able to look at their lives and say, I created a life I love.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to I Created a Life I Love. My name is Janette Rodriguez.
And I am Christine Spindler Denton. Hi, everyone.
Our episode today is creating time for wellness retreat.
Woohoo!
This goes along the lines of our theme of self love, a huge
Yay.
one. This is a huge one, guys.
This is everything to me so much because I believe self love is at the very core, the foundation of everything else you do, right? I believe you only attract into your life and you only accomplish in your life what you think you are worthy and able to do, right? The limits are only set by you and your mind. And that all starts with your own sense of worth, your self esteem, your worth, and how much you believe you are capable of. And that all comes from self love. So I believe it's a foundation to everything else in your life. And this idea of a full weekend to renew, to re energize, not just a night, not just an hour, but literally a full 48 hours, you on your own, taking care of you. I just think it's brilliant. I love it. We didn't create it. People have been doing wellness retreats forever, but I'm fully embracing it, and we're going to tell you why you should too. So, first of all, let's start though with what's up? What's up, Janette?
I am really enjoying my last moments before I start working again. As
Dun,
I
dun,
said
dun.
in another podcast that I did get a job here in Vegas. But what I did is I actually went back to California and I had the opportunity to go to the Janet Jackson concert with my sisters and my cousins. And it was just, yeah, it was great. It was great.
I'm
So
so
great.
jealous. This is the coolest thing. I
Uh-huh.
huge big Jackson fan from whenever I could, whenever I first heard her and just love all of her music. So I am a very, very big Janet fan. So how fun was that? I've never seen her live.
She's so amazing and she's still
Really?
amazing. Yeah,
Ah,
she's just amazing.
and I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember like how old she is. Like, she's in her 50s, right? If
I
not
think
six, I'm
so.
gonna look up how old
Yeah.
she is while we're talking, because
Yeah.
everyone. But not that age, not that a number matters, but I just love seeing incredible women at any age. But especially I feel like my generation, each in the 50s, like we're aging very differently than I feel like the people before us.
Yeah.
We're much more, as I said, I don't know how much of my personality is me or how much it is literally my generation. Because when I have met other Gen Xers, they are very much like me. We're very sarcastic. We're very don't tell me what to do type of people. And as soon as you do, we'll go the opposite way. And all of that. So I think it's very interesting to me how we have very similar traits and our upbringings of being just kind of off on our own for most of the time, are very similar. But anyway, so she was a part, I feel, of my growing up, and it's just loved her music. So she was
Yeah.
incredible. Is there a
Oh,
favorite
yeah.
song you have?
Oh, I have like all of them. All of them are
Yeah.
it's just because they all bring back memories because my older sister was the one that would play it. She had all the albums and she would play it loud when she was just getting dressed or when we're cleaning or, so it just brought back all those different memories that we had as, in my childhood.
Yeah, no, she's 58. So I was right. Strong Gen Xer right there. Yeah, and yeah, so that's so wonderful. But yeah, so that's so cool. And that you got to do it with your sisters is really amazing. That's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was very memorable. How about you? What's up
Um,
with you?
what is up is I think I am getting ready for summer. I am, just getting through a couple things, and I'm kind of dealing with a lot of things happening. I'm dealing with some things. My mother has dementia. So now that I've kind of gotten over most of the surgeries, I still have another procedure, which I've mentioned. And the frustration level with that is insane. So,
Hmm.
all of you out there, whatever you've had to go through to deal with and dealing with the medical profession, hospitals, doctors, all of them, and scheduling, it's just insane. Like I literally have another procedure that we knew about as of that I was cleared for as of May, and it's been months. It's been months.
Oh man.
Um, when they can't schedule it because there's just no time at the hospital for the procedure. Like they're booked. So I'm like,
Yeah.
how did we get here as Americans? Do you know what I mean? That the hospital is too full to even schedule a procedure. So I'm working through patience, right, and calm and staying on the positive. Obviously, focusing on what I am grateful for and all the good stuff that has transpired through this journey, which there has been so much good stuff that has happened, and that I'm grateful for. But yeah, that's still there. So, but while I'm waiting for that, I've been trying to handle things with my mom because now that I'm only working one job, I'm kind of able to travel and see her. And we're going to have to make a couple decisions about what's right for her. And so I'm very excited to go. I talk to her at least twice a week. And so, but I'm very excited to go and be there in person as soon as I could get there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's going to be very hard. Um, you know, um, I went right before I was diagnosed. So there's, but I know it's going to be even just a big change in that time. So, yeah, so dealing with that. So a little bit more somber, I guess, but we'll find all the good stuff that we can and cherishing the good moments with her.
Yes. Yeah. And I've been in that situation quite a few times, and it's just good to recall the good memories.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Look
So
through those photos. I'm sure she has a ton of photos over
yes.
there.
Oh my gosh, so
Yeah.
many. So
Yeah.
many.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to spend that good time with her.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All
Yes,
right.
yes. All right, let's see. Our quote of the day is by Bell Hooks, and the quote is: "When we work with love, we renew the spirit. That renewal is an act of self-love. It nurtures our growth." And I think that's what our focus really here is that the difference between, let's start out with this, what is a wellness retreat, right, or a wellness weekend, right, or just taking 48 hours, what even is that? And I
Mm-hmm.
think we need to start with what we're looking for here or talking about is taking 48 hours if possible completely alone. Now I know there are a lot of wellness retreats, you can go with girlfriends and things and stuff like that, but this is a little different. What we're really asking you to do as an act of self-love or to try and find a way to do, and some people can't do a full 48 hours, and so take and apply as you can, but is to take two out of the 365 days that you have each year,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just to take two of those out of 365 and focus just on you. Be
Mm-hmm.
still, sit with you. And there's so many reasons we're going to talk about why it's important in a second, but the goal here is for you to really look internally, get away from all the external. Don't answer your phone unless to have someone not call you unless it's an emergency, of course, and all of that. But don't think about, it's not about like New Year resolutions. It's nothing like that. It's not about making goals. It's not about anything external. It
Mhm.
is about getting quiet and sitting with yourself, quiet in the silence, and just listening to your internal voice and really focusing on your feelings about your life, right? Your voice that you're hearing inside yourself, and those feelings that are coming up about your life, about your career, about your relationships, about everything that's going on in your life, all parts, to slow down, get away from the crazy, busy day to day,
Mhm.
and just sit with it and
Mhm.
see if there's any place where you get a weird feeling. Being in that stillness allows you to really feel how you feel about it. And then you can be like, wow, I might need to look at that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I feel okay about that promotion or that trajectory or what my next 5 years look like or the path I'm on or my health or, you know what I mean, my house, like what, anything that it is. But in
Mhm.
any part of your life, it's hard to be objective and really listen to your internal voice when you are in your normal environment, right? With the
Yeah.
phone and the kids and the people and the just day to day things. I live alone and I didn't even do this in my own house because I would just see my laundry or I would see my dogs or I would see, all the things that I need to be doing. And it was you need to get out of that environment,
Mhm.
um, and be completely someplace neutral and be able to stop and be objective and look and feel at your life and how it makes you feel inside and internal, and give yourself that time to think about it, feel about it, and then analyze where you are, where you want to be, how you want to feel about the parts of your life, and then give you that time to kind of renew and fresh and then bring in that positivity and those good feelings about how you're going to be in those places moving forward. So there's two parts to it. First listening to how you feel about where you are, and
Mhm.
then how you're
Mhm.
going to bring in positivity moving forward. So I just wanted everyone to really kind of understand what we're talking about first. And it doesn't matter what your religious affiliation is or your, you know what I mean, or your beliefs on anything. Bring those with you and incorporate that with this. Like, this
Mhm.
isn't anything versus anything else. We're just saying that stopping your normal routine and giving yourself some time to check in as to how you really feel about your life, the one life you have here, is really important to do. And if you can do it on an annual basis, I think that's really great and wonderful.
Yeah.
Why is it even important?
So on witandelight.com, the article Return to Yourself, a Practical Guide on How to Retreat by Alan Koenig. In the quote, it says, retreating helps us look squarely at life and at ourselves. What needs are going unmet, what small, quiet longing refuses to subside, what's working and what isn't, and maybe even why. There's no escaping through hibernation nor avoiding through willful busyness.
Yeah. And I think that's right there what we were talking about, that going on a retreat of some sort, taking that time away and really looking at what you need. Like, I love that. What needs are
Mhm.
going unmet? Like, that's huge. Do you have something that you've been thinking about? It keeps coming up. You keep seeing it places. That's a sign that that's something that you're interested in or you want to follow, or is something that you want to maybe look at further. And you don't get a chance to do that when you're in your daily routine. Like, you
Yeah.
can't do that. And that might be something that could really bring your life joy if incorporated into your life, right? And
Hmm.
these are the little details that we're talking about, that you are not going to notice them or really give yourself time to look at them unless you're taking like 48 hours away. that quiet longing that refuses to subside. Oh, doesn't that just make your heart kind of go like, what thing have you been longing to do? We all have those things inside of us, right?
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
have that. I don't know, when a certain song comes on, or you see someone doing something as you're driving your car, or you hear a story, or you see a movie, somebody doing something, like maybe you've always wanted to learn how to cook, right? Or maybe you've always wanted to start biking by the beach, right? Which
Uh-huh.
is something I want to get back doing. And every time you look at a movie, you're seeing that happen, or you drive by and you see all these people doing it.
Yeah.
Like it's these things are not popping up in your brain and your thoughts unless it is something for you that matters to you and that has the possibility of bringing you great joy and laughter and connection with other people. What's working, what isn't working, and why. And I love that there's no escaping through hibernation, right? And that's what we
Yeah.
do. We kind of stick our head in the sand, right? Or try and not think about it, or avoiding through willful busyness. And that's
Yeah.
always our excuse, right? I'm too busy. I'm too busy. I
I don't
say that
have
all the
time for
time.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fully guilty right here. I say that all the time. And in my mind, it's very true. It's not
Yeah.
true in reality. As
Yeah.
we all know, it's not. If something really, really, really matters to you, everyone will tell you, you find time. You rearrange
Exactly.
everything in your life to make it happen. And when you get sick, trust me, you find time for the important things. Like
Yeah.
you do. So I know it not to be true, even though I'm probably the most guilty of saying I'm too busy. So we got to stop ourselves from saying that. But so I think that's really, really key as to why a retreat is important. You can do this on any budget, right? Isn't that? I think that's one of the reasons why people think it's hard, is because
Hmm.
they think they have to pay a lot of money and go to some fancy,
You
professional
don't.
type
Yeah.
place, right? And that's not the case.
Yeah, you can even just go to one of the parks around, your area and just totally camp and
Well, there's
unwind.
tons of places
Yeah.
to camp, right? There are tons of
Yeah.
places to camp that's cheap. There are tons of hotels that have deals, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And that you can go to. If you can go during the week, like take 2 days off of work, if you could do that, fantastic. You're going to get a great hotel week. I know I'm going up to Santa Barbara for two
Hmm.
days. And so I got a hotel room for one night, but I'm going to leave. And so I had to pay for the hotel room. I'm going to drive,
Uh-huh.
so I don't have to
Uh-huh.
fly or anything there. I have to pay for the dog sitter and cat sitter for the person to come. But other than that, I'm going to bring a cooler, even though it's at a hotel, but I'm going to bring a cooler of a lot of foods and snacks I have to keep my costs a little bit lower so I don't have to go out for every meal. But I'm going to go up real early in the morning and have
Uh-huh.
all day Saturday. Then I'm going to an event that Saturday night that I'm treating myself to as part of the renewal. Excuse me. And then I'll have all day Sunday, and then I'll drive back, whenever, probably like midday, but give myself the whole morning, to have to myself as well. And part of the early afternoon before I drive back.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be my time that I haven't done since I got sick. I haven't, left. I've been, recovering at my house, and people have been visiting me at my house. And so I've had plenty of downtime, but I've still been here. I've still been in the same environment with all my
Yeah.
stuff around me and with all those, oh, I need to text them back, and I need to call this person back, and I need to say thank you to this person, and all the I have to do this, to do, right? Um, so I'm doing that to just have my time away, and I'm so excited. I already have bought like like my books that I'm bringing with me to write in, to go through like all my questions.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to kind of do all of this, to do the work, to really delve in and think about what makes me happy. What do I want to incorporate in my life on a daily, ritual way to
Yeah.
really bring myself joy.
Yeah. And oh man, I've never really done it by myself, any of those, activities, or just taking a vacation by myself, or, doing a wellness retreat. I've done little things, like but not a full 48 hours. So I'm excited for you. I'm
Yeah.
super
I'm
excited for you.
I'm really excited. In the past, I've done a cabin in Big Bear. I love going up to the woods, to nature. I love getting out in nature and being a part of nature. If you can do that, if you can go camping or be like in a cabin, even where you can be taking hikes and be out in nature a lot, I think that is huge. I think
Hmm.
that is hugely beneficial as well, because I think people really underestimate. I think we need to do a whole show about it, but I think they really underestimate the power of nature. And I just read in doing some research on the science of this and why taking this time for renewal is so important was that even spending, I think I'm going to get it wrong, but I think it was 2 hours, it's 2 or 3, 2 hours a week completely out in nature
Uh-huh.
changes your mental health extremely. Like
Oh,
the science on it has been just amazing. And, there's so many people are talking about grounding and walking barefoot or just sitting in a park, just touching and being in nature, and how much it changes you. So, if you can include that as part of your time away, I think that's really good. I'm going to be about like 10 minutes from the beach, I think, or like 8 minutes from the beach walking from where I'm staying. So, I'm going to do that walk every day. Plus, there are some really cool hikes where I'm at.
yeah.
So I'm gonna, try and do at least two, one each morning. I'm going to be doing that as well. So literally, this is 2 days out of 365. Which, when you have young kids, I get it. Do you know what I mean? It's hard.
Uh-huh.
It's hard
Yeah.
to get away, and you might not, you want to get away with your spouse probably, right, and your
Yeah.
partner, and have some time away from the kids with the two of you, and that's really important too. I'm not taking anything away from that, but we do want to tell you this whole month talking about self-love. If you're not taking care of yourself first, that
Hmm.
that relationship is going to suffer as well, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to know what brings you joy, where you want to put your effort and time, what is making you happy separate from that relationship in your life, so that you are always coming from a place of a filled cup, right? You want to
Yes.
fill up your own cup completely and totally. So then when you connect with your spouse, when they walk through that door, or you walk through that door, or the kids come home, or
Hmm.
whatever it is, you're in a place of contentment. You're in a place of happiness. You're not drained, right? And
Yeah.
resentful.
Yeah. Yeah. And, just talking to people, like, I'm learning talking to Christine right now of what, ideas are popping in my brain right now. Like, what can I do, especially since I have the time right now. And I really feel
Yeah.
that I should, try to do something at least for 24 hours and, take that time for myself by myself and really, continue my journey as well. And I do have some family members that have done it, like my brother-in-law. He's gone on he actually took a whole week of meditation retreat by
That's
himself.
so great. That's
Yeah.
so great.
And it seems to like it greatly improve his mental health.
Yeah.
And so just taking that time, if it's not a whole week, if it's a day or 48 hours, it's amazing. um, some other thing, like I guess one other thing that I've done that's kind of along the lines is I've done the float tank, and
How long is that?
I think I believe it's 90 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's just so cool to float. And
Yeah.
it's in complete darkness. So some people can get a little claustrophobic or, get a little nervous about being in there. But you're literally floating and, you're just with you and your thoughts. And it's really nice to have that time to really think about, yourself and work on yourself.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, like I said, there's something very different. Like, because I live
Uh-huh.
alone right now, and I've spent, many years, decades not living alone, but living alone right now, it's very interesting, you would think, oh, you have plenty of time to do this and know yourself and do that, but you don't, because you're so busy with your life,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I I still have to get away and make that conscious choice to say,
Yes.
this is what this 24 to 48 hours, this is what this time is for. It's very specific. It is not just, you know what I mean, about pampering yourself or doing a spa and, all those things and eating whatever you want and all that. That can be part of it. You can do that too to re energize yourself and treat yourself with a bunch of, wonderful things. I don't
Yeah.
think that's bad. But
Uh-huh.
this is specifically about giving yourself that time to look at your life, to reassess where you are, and really look yourself in the mirror, or and write down or journal or videotape or talk into, your phone, however you want to do it. There's a lot of techniques if you go out there of like self observation and self renewal. um, my girlfriend does a video each year, and she saves them, which I think was the
Oh.
coolest idea. Like, she videotapes herself, like, this is my weekend, and she wants to give it to her daughters at some point, so
Oh.
they will have it as like a keepsake. And she keeps out some parts, like she talks through some things, like intimate things about like her marriage or things she's focusing on and trying to fix and all of that kind of stuff she's not going to share. But she does do a video every year when she does her retreat, saying, I'm on my self renewal retreat. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Here,
wow.
I'm in this place and this is what I'm seeing, doing, blah, blah, blah. And just she goes, and here are my thoughts this year I want to share with you. And so she records like little video for them every week that she does that, about things she wants to share with them that year. And I thought that's so great. Like, her just kind of looking back over the year, looking at her life that year and what she wants to share with the people around her, and then what she wants moving forward. But I
Yes.
think so, everyone does it a little differently, and you can, incorporate pampering, you can incorporate spa, you can incorporate meditation, you can incorporate prayer, you can incorporate, nature walks, like I said, and being out in nature. You can incorporate yoga or health things, runs, if you want to do runs, if you want to do
Yeah.
nutrition, you can do that. Incorporate wine, wine tasting, if you want to do that. I know a friend that went on a solo wine tasting tour, on her last day. She did, one full day of just working on herself and journaling and writing and, kind of really thinking about what was working in her life and what she wanted to change, and where she was giving herself self love each day and where she was not, and where she wanted to add more self love into her life. And then the next day she treated herself to, a whole like like spa thing. She said she did like a massage and facial in the morning, and then wine tasting, and, in the afternoon. And I'm like,
That's
okay,
awesome.
so like she did both, right? She did the
Yeah.
And so you can do this any way you want to do it, but
Uh-huh.
just taking this time and prioritizing yourself, and how you and looking objectively at your own life, I think is something we don't do. We
No, we
always look
don't.
externally. Like, what do
Yeah.
I want to obtain this year? What are my goals? What do I want to achieve? It's all about,
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I'm not a big resolution person, but even when you look at, just even if you're not making resolutions, it's just kind of human nature to just make, okay, I'm going to make new goals this month, or new goals for the year and stuff like that. And having all of those are good. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but it's very different from spending time in silence and quietly really listening to your internal voice and
Uh-huh.
asking yourself about your own life, and making sure that you're loving yourself enough,
Oh, yeah.
right? That you're showing yourself enough care on
Yeah.
a day to day basis.
Oh, yeah. I'm like thinking, wow, I'm gonna go plan something after this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
you
just so
should.
motivating. It really is.
I just
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it's the coolest gift you can give yourself. And I will say, not to be sexist, but I will say, especially women, I feel like I do consistently feel, and this is what drives me nuts about this topic of self love. And I said this on the first day when we kicked off self love for the month, is that even in all the research and books I was reading and everything about this, all the sentences would add, it's really not being selfish because when you fill up your cup, you have more to give to others. It's like, I don't need that on the end of the sentence to justify me loving myself. I don't
Yeah.
need that on the end of the sentence to justify putting myself first. I should be
Yeah.
able to self love because I'm worthy of love, period.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
should be able to give myself time and focus and attention because I deserve time, focus, and attention. The thing about it is, your life will be so much better when you do this,
Yeah.
when you clearly know how you feel and are in control of the steps that you're taking in your life, right? And take that responsibility on for your own happiness. It's it's scary, it can be intimidating, but it also is so empowering when you
Hmm.
really embrace and take that. And when you have this full mindset shift about what self-love really is. It's not about pampering, it's not about buying things, it's not about any of that stuff. It
Hmm.
is about making sure that you get to live the life you want. That's what
Yep.
self love is. And to do that, you have to know yourself.
So, on this note of self love and really loving ourselves, what things do you have to celebrate this week, Christine?
Let's see. I have been celebrating, I think, just like being patient and, like being honest with myself. And I've been honest with a couple family members that I was really kind of keeping some things in. And whenever you have difficult situations with family happening, right? And decisions that have to be made about a parent or a loved one, everyone comes at it from a different place, right?
Yeah.
And everyone thinks everyone should be in agreement, right? And
Yeah.
feeling the same way. That's when we always get into trouble. So I've been really, really taking the time to remind myself that my sibling and I come at it differently. We have a different perspective, we have different memories, we have a different mindset as to how things should be handled, and that's okay. It doesn't make either one wrong, and it doesn't mean it has to turn into a war and a fight. That we can be honest with each other and move forward. And
Yeah.
I think so I've been celebrating, I think, how I've been, my MO is to shut down and I stop
Mm.
talking to people when I feel I'm not being heard or respected, and I just shut down. And so I've really been celebrating this week that I think I've handled things in a much more mature manner. See, you can be any age and start growing up, people. I am proof right here. But that I've handled it in a more mature fashion, and I've definitely said what my boundaries are and what, and how I would like to be respected as we go through this process. We might not agree, that's fine, but we can still respect each other and act in manners, in an appropriate manner in that way. And so I think that's been really good. And I think I've had to keep those going and those boundaries going, but that's fine. They're my boundaries. I should be the one responsible for them. Um, and I've done that, I think, in a very kind and respectful way. And
Yeah.
so I'm kind of celebrating, that part of it. And as you said, I'm going to spend, the upcoming time celebrating someone's life, rather than focusing on, all of the details of things that might not happen in a way I wish they would happen.
Yeah.
And you have to let a lot of that go. And so I'm celebrating being able to be objective enough, I think, and mature enough, I think, to see that, to see the bigger picture, and to make sure that I'm doing it in a way that is good for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah. How about you? What are you celebrating this week?
I'm celebrating those shared moments with my sisters and my
Yeah.
cousins. That was one of the first concerts, like a big concert that some of my cousins have ever been to. You
Oh,
know,
so cool. They're
yeah,
younger?
no, they're older, and so they
Really?
just never really had the opportunity to go. Maybe,
Oh,
for different reasons, and
yeah.
just to see somebody that was so part of their lives too. It's just so memorable that they even went a step further, and they even went to like the casino afterwards because where they
Nice.
live is there's a casino like very close by, and so they kept that momentum and kept it going, and I was
That's
like,
so
good for
brave.
you guys, because right now they're also dealing with their mom having dementia as well.
Uh,
So just having that time for them to
yes.
have a moment of enjoying themselves and enjoying each other as well, because right now is a very stressful time for them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. Talk about self-love, right? Is you've got to do that when you're a caretaker for other people, right?
Uh-huh.
Especially your parents and especially someone who, that it can be not a great situation and not pleasant in any way. And you can start to kind of turn on each other too, right? Like, or get
Yeah.
frustrated with each other and both want to do things your way, and neither way is wrong, but you just have different ways of doing things. So that's really nice
Hmm.
that during this time they're going through that they found a way to be together and share a positive moment together. That's a fantastic,
Yeah.
fantastic. I love that.
Yeah. All right,
Yay.
everyone. So that brings us to the end of today. But we want to remind you that we still have those Monday meditation minutes that come out every week. Remember to use those for those moments that you need time away from others, time away from the kids, time away from their coworkers, time away from maybe your husband, and just a minute to yourself that you can listen to those and center yourself and really, be in that moment listening to those meditation minutes.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget to become a member on our website, icreatedalifeilove.com, and get access to the ebook and digital pages.
Yeah, those come out. We have a new book and four new digital pages that come out every single month. So you can join our members only club and get those every month. It's really good. We kind of dive in deeper than what we talk about just on our, podcast here. And the digital pages you can download, they're yours forever. You're a member for life and you can use them, write in them. They're really good to take some time and dig a little deeper. We also have our newsletter, so you can sign up for our newsletter at icreatedalifeilove.com/newsletter, and that is out monthly with a ton of free content on that, and that's completely free. So join us with that. You just put in your email and it'll pop into your email box every month.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to us today, and we will see you next week.
All right, everybody, create a life you love this week. Bye.
Bye.